welcome to another video. So today I am doing 7 books in 7 weeks, which is basically 7 books that I want to read before the end of the year. There are, I believe there's 7 weeks left of the year. I might have read my calendar wrong, but I think there were 7 weeks left. So I've made a stack of 7 books I want to read in that time. Makes sense to me. I would like to get through these. There are 3 which are on my November TBR, so I would like to get them read this month. There are 2 that I have mentioned in basically every single, these are the books that I want to read, like video that I have made pretty much ever. And I've got a couple of new releases in here. I've got a couple that I'm just excited by and haven't yet plotted them in anywhere. So let's stop dithering and just get into the 7 books that I want to read before the end of the year. These are not in any particular order, but the first one, The Golden Enclaves by Naomi Novik. So I read A Deadly Education in September, loved it. I read The Last Graduate in October, loved it. I now want to finish off the trilogy and read The Golden Enclaves. I'm super excited to read this one. I think it would be fantastic just based on how much I loved the other 2 books in the series. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can get to this one in November. It is on my November TBR and I hope that I can squeeze it in. So the Scholomance trilogy follows Elle, who is a magical person. And she is at the Scholomance. The Scholomance is a magic school. However, in this world, if you are a magical person, evil monsters are attracted to you and will try and kill you, which is why all of the kids go to the Scholomance, which has got extra protections so these evil monsters cannot get in, cannot kill everybody. However, there is a slight kind of like hole in the plan where there are some evil monsters that can't get into the school, but if you're at the Scholomance, your chance of survival is more like about kind of 30-40% compared to where you're outside would be maybe like 10%. So most parents will send their kids to the school. Now, when you graduate from the Scholomance, you have to battle your way through the graduation hall, which is jam-packed to the rafters with all of these evil monsters. So throughout A Deadly Education, we are following Elle, who is starting to try and make friends and make alliances for when she has to get through her own graduation the following year. In The Last Graduate, she is in her graduation year, and again, we're following her kind of trying to get through, bolster up those friendships, those alliances, so that she can graduate and survive. I don't really know what's going to happen in this one. Book 2 ended on such a cliffhanger that I was not okay. So I'm excited to see where book 3 goes. I have a feeling, I feel like I should know what's going to happen because of the title. This is the Golden Enclaves, or something that are mentioned throughout book 1 and book 2. But I don't think that's going to be the main plot of this book at all. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to read this book, which will also finish off the series for me. The next book that I'm very excited to read before the end of the year, let's move Bella's Tale, is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. So I read Icebreaker back in, I believe, April, and it became my favourite book of the year. I think it still is my favourite book of the year. It's potentially tied with Fourth Wing, but it is definitely up there. So because I loved Icebreaker so much, I now want to read Wildfire. And that's it. Wildfire follows Russ, who is a character who we met in Icebreaker. He's another one of the hockey players. And in this one, he and a girl called Aurora cross paths at a university party. And I think they hook up. And they kind of, sneak away, one night stand, whatever. So we've got a Bella ear here. But then they are counsellors together at a summer camp. I think there's going to be fantastic tension in this one. I think the smut will be absolutely 10-10 based on how good Icebreaker was. I think the romance is going to be incredible, and I am just, all in all, obsessed. Can't wait to read this one. It's going to be amazing. Next up, I have got Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. So she is chunky. This is Cassandra Clare's first adult novel. I love the Shadowhunter books. They are an absolute guilty pleasure because I'm well aware that they are not necessarily the best written or the best plotted or just the best books in general. I'm aware they are also fairly problematic, but I really enjoy them. Really, really like them. So I am very excited to get to Swordcatcher. I saw Cassandra Clare do a talk about Swordcatcher at the end of October. I'll link the vlog up here where I've kind of got a few clips there. And what I think is going to be interesting with this one is it's not just going to be adult because of the fact that now they're having sex and they're swearing. It's adult more in the terms of the depth of the world building, which is something that I'm really looking forward to, because I feel like the way that the Shadowhunter Chronicles are so wide, they cover different times, different families, different locations, but yet they're all intertwined and tied together. Cassandra Clare, in my mind, is clearly an incredible world builder, so I'm very excited to see how she manages that in Swordcatcher. The next book on my pile, oh sorry Bella, just hit her in the face with the book then, is Yellowface by Rebecca Kwong. I'm a little bit nervous about this one because I'm not really a literary fiction girly. However, I've heard this one reads as like a thriller / literary / kind of just, I don't really know. I don't know what the last / is. I know this follows an author who steals a manuscript from her friend who's an Asian origin, and then this author publishes the book under a kind of ambiguous name. And this is kind of poking fun at a social commentary, I guess, on the publishing industry and racism within the publishing industry. So I feel like it's going to be interesting for me because I do kind of work, I guess, adjacent to the publishing industry, but also I want to read more of R.F. Kuang's work. So I really enjoyed Babel. I want to reread The Poppy War because I felt I read it at the wrong time for me. I didn't massively enjoy it, but I think that was a me issue, not a book issue. So I am excited to get to this one, but slightly nervous. The next book on my list is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. This is Chloe Gong's first adult novel. This one is an Antony and Cleopatra retelling, and I believe is kind of similar to kind of Hunger Games in a trial where it's like a battle to the death kind of thing. I love Chloe Gong's work. I adored These Valiant Delights duology. I've loved Foul Lady Fortune, so I'm hoping that I'm also going to love her adult work as well. I'm not entirely sure very much about what else this book is about, so just going to leave it there, but I am very excited to read this one. Next, these are the two books that I mention all the time but that I want to read and I haven't read. The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I really, really enjoyed The Hunting Party and The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I have heard that this one is not so good, but I still want to read it, basically. So The Paris Apartment, I believe this is going to be similar to Lucy Foley's other books in that it follows a cast of characters. We're not entirely sure kind of like who's done what, but we are following, I think it'd be the murderer, I don't know. I believe in this one someone goes to visit her brother in Paris and he is missing. So I don't know if it's a murder mystery or a missing person, not sure yet, but I do want to read it. I do feel like it's going to be a quick read, and even though I'm a little bit anxious, like a little bit nervous about it because I've not heard the best things, I still want to give it a go and form my own opinion. And finally, Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. So this book is a And Then There Were None retelling. It is set in Cornwall. and it's on an isolated island. So the darkers have gone back to their home on this island off the coast of Cornwall, and they start dying. I just really want to read this one. I can't tell you why. Again, some people love it, some people hate it. I don't know which side of the fence I'm going to sit on, but this has been on, like I said, every single list of books that I want to read for so long, that I just really want to get it read. So they are the 7 books that I would like to read in the next 7 weeks. Any of these books, I'm going to put them down because they're heavy. And let me know if you have read any, which ones I should be prioritising. I would like to, like I said, I would like to get them all read before the end of the year. Whether I will or not is a whole other question, but that is what I would like to do. So on this list, if there's anything I should have put on instead. If you like this video, please leave me a like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!